Have you ever noticed how some people just walk into a room and command respect, like effortlessly, and then others, well, they struggle? It's not about how much money they have or their job title. It's about something way more fundamental, and that's their attitude.
So let's really think about this for a second. What is it that just instantly destroys respect? Like in a flash? Is it their job? How much is in their bank account? Most of us grow up believing respect is all about those external things, right? Status, a big shot job title, lots of money. But here's the kicker. The psychological truth is, it's not about any of that. It's something happening on the inside. It really all boils down to your attitude. That's what's either earning you respect or destroying it. All right, so let's break down 4 of these really corrosive attitudes. These are the ones that psychology tells us can absolutely wreck the respect people have for you, sometimes before you even open your mouth. You ready? Okay, first up, attitude number 1. I'm willing to bet we've all met this person, and hey, maybe we've even been this person from time to time. I'm talking about the know-it-all. And it all comes down to these 3 little words. The second someone utters this, boom, a wall just goes up. They've shut down, they're not listening, they're not learning, and they've completely closed themselves off to whatever you have to say.
And there's actually a fascinating psychological reason behind this. It isn't just plain old arrogance. It's a cognitive bias called the Dunning-Kruger Effect. And what that means basically is that it's this weird quirk of the human brain where folks with the least skill or knowledge in something often overestimate their ability the most. It's a huge blind spot that keeps them from ever seeing where they need to improve.
And that's why it's so destructive. See, acting like a know-it-all doesn't make people think you're smart. It just makes them think you're unteachable, that you're impossible to collaborate with. And honestly, who wants to be around that? It just can't grow in that kind of environment. No way. All right, let's shift gears to our second attitude. This one hits on a much more emotional level. We're talking about the victim. Oh, you know this one. We've all heard it in some form. It's that constant story that the universe is out to get them, that everything bad happens to them, and that there's just nothing they can do about it. And what this does is create this palpable feeling. Psychologists actually have a name for it, victim energy. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's this heavy, draining vibe that you can feel the moment you start talking to them. And here's why that destroys respect. That energy is absolutely exhausting. It just sucks the life out of the people around them because it puts everyone in the position of being a cheerleader or a therapist. But even more than that, it screams a total lack of personal responsibility. And it is so, so hard to respect someone who won't take ownership of their own life. Okay, attitude number 3. Now this one is tricky. It's a little sneaky because on the surface, it actually looks like a good thing. I am talking about the people pleaser. You know the type. They are always ready with a yes, always agreeable, always available. Their main goal is just to be liked and seen as helpful. But, and this is a big but, it totally backfires. And this really breaks down the disconnect perfectly. On the one hand, you think you're signaling, hey, I'm helpful. But what other people see are weak boundaries. You think you're being agreeable and easygoing, but what they perceive is someone with no real convictions of their own, someone who can't stand up for their own ideas. And really, it all boils down to this. Respect starts with self-respect. If you're constantly sending the message that your own time, your own opinions, your own energy don't matter, well, you're literally teaching other people not to value them either. Why would they, if you don't? And that leads us to our 4th and final attitude, which might just be the most toxic of all. Meet the blamer. This is the person who is never, ever at fault. This is their catchphrase, their go-to move. Something goes wrong, a project fails, a mistake happens, and what's their first instinct? To point the finger. It's always someone else's fault or something else's fault. Now, this isn't just a bad habit. It's a whole mindset. It's what psychologists call an external locus of control. Basically, it's the belief that you have no control over your life. It's all up to outside forces. Luck, other people, the weather, whatever. It's like believing you're just a passenger in your own life, not the one driving. So why is this an absolute respect killer? Well, think about it. The foundation of all respect is trust. And when you're constantly passing the buck, you just annihilate trust. People see you as unreliable, unaccountable. You become a liability, and nobody can respect that. So there you have it, 4 attitudes that can absolutely tank your respect levels. But listen, the point here isn't to go around pointing fingers at other people. The real work is looking in the mirror. It's about owning your attitude. So just to recap real quick, we've got the know-it-all who's totally closed off, the victim who drains everyone's energy and dodges responsibility, the people pleaser who just screams weak boundaries, and the blamer who just destroys trust. And this really brings us full circle. Back to our main point. You could be the CEO. You could have all the money in the world. But if you're rocking one of these attitudes, forget about it. Respect is just not going to happen. It's not about what's on your business card. It's about the energy you project every single day. So, I want to leave you with a question to think about. We all have our blind spots, right? Nobody's perfect. So looking at these 4 and being really honest with yourself, which one might be sneaking into your life, even just a little? Because just spotting it, that's the first, most powerful step toward commanding the respect you actually deserve.